The Z to Z Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, or good day, and welcome to the Z to Z Podcast, the home for Xbox achievement hunters and gamerscore junkies. I'm your host, Brandon Fream, and thank you so much for listening. At Z to Z, we love gaming, and in particular, grabbing achievements and gaining gamerscore. We do news, reviews, and interviews. It's about achievements, we'll unlock it. You can find show notes for this show, as well as our previous shows, on our website, z2z.com. This is the penultimate episode, number 149. You can also contact us with questions or comments on Twitter at Z2ZZEDTOZED, over at our forums, forum.z2z.com, or email us directly, contact@z2z.com. Well, like I said, this is the penultimate episode. We have two left, and what better way to start to wrap this thing up than bring on a couple of my favorite guests. We have, of course, Proulx, one of my favorites. How are you doing, Proulx?
Well, I wouldn't call myself a guest, but I'm doing great, Fream. How are you doing?
Fine. You're one of my favorite people to talk to. Whatever.
Aww. Well, that's even sweeter, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
And we also have Kooshmoose with us. How are you doing, Koosh?
Oh, I'm doing great, thank you. And
Fantastic.
True to form, squeaked in right under the line. So
yep. Bingo bongo. So there we have it, guys. Yeah, we are wrapping this thing up ever so quickly. Be done before Thanksgiving, and the show will be over. And I'm still very bittersweet about the whole thing, but I'm letting everybody know, that's just how the cookie is crumbling. But this is a gaming podcast, and we should talk about games because that's what we do. I've had a pretty awesome week of gaming, but I want to hear from you guys as well. How's it been? How's it been for you, Koosh?
Oh, so in my life, this time of year, and this year in particular, with my daughter going back to school, so kindergarten, we are getting all the new bugs that were not. Yeah, they were not in fashion in daycare, but now they've got these awesome bugs and awesome colds and fun stuff. Just nastiness we're bringing back home. I've been sick for about 5 weeks straight.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so just cascading colds and sinus infections and ear infections, and then my daughter just got pink eye just a few nights ago. So I thought that was coming too. Luckily, the adults have dodged that bullet. But so my gaming has been affected by that. I have not been able to stay awake at night, so I am not playing any long form games. I'm basically just doing just a little bit here, a little bit there, just kind of, keep that going. That's pretty much how my gaming's been going. So I haven't not been diving into things like Red Dead. I started when it first came out, but that game moves so slowly that if you try to play it in 15 half-an-hour increments, you really haven't gotten much farther than the loading screen.
You might have made it to the mission, but you don't actually get to play the mission.
You've probably loaded into your camp and gotten on your horse and oh man, now I gotta go to bed. Yeah. So I like to save that for 2-hour chunks, and I haven't really had too many of those. Hopefully I'll get around to that. So instead, I've been playing shorter things and things I can play during the day, kind of offline. War Planet Online comes to mind. That was a Windows 10 game that was really easy up front, and then they had one or two achievements at the end. They were just super long grinds. I was not really going to do this, and then I saw a group come together, or a gaming session came on TA, and it looked like those guys were going to carry us, and sure enough, there is one session on TA, I believe, and these guys have been very good about getting everybody through and getting the achievement. They're in a guild or whatever, a faction that just is basically carrying everyone on TA that wants to get the achievement through. So if you've already gotten the completion, getting this next completion, the title update completion, is very easy. So a big shout out to those guys in the TA session. If you guys are close, please go check it out. And those guys are really good guys.
So if you haven't started this game at all, because I've actually been a little curious about it from time to time. Do you think it's still doable? Do you think these people are going to be around for however long, or should it probably be best to stay away, sort of thing? Or
the guys that are running this particular session are very good, and they are in it for the long haul. They actually enjoy the game. So if you want to just get in and kind of grind with them, they're more than happy to have people kind of grind out in their other factions. They have 5 or 6 sister factions basically, and you can just sort of sit in one of the lower ones where all their alts are, and you can just kind of basically take resources from them, or use them to get resources. So yes, I think if you want to go for it, these guys are very friendly, and they'll definitely help you get the completion for the early stuff and the old stuff, or the new stuff. Sorry.
Presumably, we have some server closures. Is that why this came up? Or?
No, this is just a title update.
Oh, so there's new stuff.
Yes. So the game was completable, and then they put out a title update out of nowhere about a year later. They added 2 new achievements. And yeah, they would have been tough to get if you had just been doing it by yourself. But if you were an established faction or knew someone, then you
gotcha.
And they'd have already been building up. So I would definitely check that out if you're interested at all. Aside from that, just been doing kind of smaller things, like Dead Cells dailies. They finally put out an update I want to say about a month ago. And they've updated the dailies. So now they actually record the fact that you've done them. So I just finished.
Is there any value in going beyond 10?
So you get a reward for your first one, you get a reward for your 5th one, and a reward for your 10th one. After that, there is no incentive to keep going back. I went back on the 11th run and did not get any notification telling me that I would get something if I kept doing it. So I'm pretty much done with dailies at this point. The first one is I don't even remember, a sword maybe. The second is the aura that just does damage around you, and the third is the rapier that allows you to attack quickly, which is kind of cool. So now I can eventually get back to the main part of Dead Cells and just actually play the game. Now that they've updated it, and I think they've fixed some other performance issues. There were stutters. Some people had reported stuttering, and I think that was addressed as well. So I'm good to go back into that game and kind of actually devote time to it now. Once I feel a little bit better. I've been playing other games. I'll try to be real quick and wrap it up here. Mummy Demastered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that. It's a Metroidvania, obviously. And it's really...
Just went on sale.
Yeah, it went on sale recently, for the Halloween sales, or the scary sales. And it's a good game. If you can get it on sale, it's a solid Metroidvania. It seems like it's probably about 8 to 10 hours. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I also picked up Chasm last night, and I'm really enjoying that game. It's more of a it's a slight Metroidvania, but I think it has more of a action adventure kind of platformer to it, like a Zelda 2 or a I was just looking this up because I love this game and I can never remember the name of it. The Battle of Olympus for NES.
I've never heard of that game.
Oh my gosh. Great game from the NES days. If you know about it, you know about it. And I might actually just buy it because my search came up with like a $19 one on Amazon. I might have to just get that. And then my big news, Rayman Legends for the 360. I just today scored enough points that when I launch tomorrow, I will have the completion. So
nice.
So I'm very happy that I'll be done with the Rayman Legends 360. But that's what I've been doing, just a little bit here, a little bit there, short gaming experiences, but a lot of them, just because I can't put together the 2 hours I'd like to put into Red Dead, and that game is gorgeous. so I've monopolized enough time, but that's my gaming.
Nice. Proulx, what have you been up to?
Hey, I have a Rayman Legends achievement on my random to-do list this month.
Oh yeah, you gonna do it?
Yeah, kind of. I think I'm like 80% on the tracker, and it doesn't seem too bad. So I probably will go for it. It's just for getting all the silver cups.
Sure.
So I'm sure there's just some levels I've skipped over or didn't go into. So.
Are you kind of close to the end of that?
The game? I mean, I beat the game.
So you just clean up stuff.
Yeah, it's just all I have left is clean up stuff. Like, I played through the game, I think when I first got my Xbox One, but I just kind of played through it until the end.
You said you just had to do the Origin stuff, right? Like the original?
That was for, what was the achievement I needed last time? I had an achievement last month in Random To-Do List or UHH, I can't remember which. But yeah, that was for something I needed for that. So I had to go back and do all the... Oh yeah, I think there's an achievement for doing all the Origins paintings. I hadn't done that yet. But now I have done that, and I just have to go back and get silver on all the ones I didn't get, I think. So we'll see.
I hope it's not that many.
Like I said, I think the tracker has me like 82% or something.
Okay.
So I hope it's not that many. we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that is not what I've been playing. I haven't touched it yet. I did do some RTDL slash UHH just for fun stuff. I'll just list them off real quick because they're not that interesting. I did some Super Street Fighter 4. I did some Saints Row 2, some Jackbox, and the Super Lucky's Tale. So Super Lucky's Tale is interesting because I played it when it first came out. I think it was the game I bought when I bought my 1X.
Right.
And
You actually bought it?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
On disc, believe it or not. So,
whoa, man.
So, in fact, I bought it on disc.
Man.
Full price.
At full price, that's right. Well, I think it was only $40 if memory serves. I don't think it was ever $60.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it was.
But anyways, I bought it, beat it real quick, and in fact, I took it off my shelf and put it in storage because I thought that was the end of the game. Well, it turns out this title update, or 2 or 3, I think, since releasing, they've come out with, has made that not so. So I actually had to go into the closet and grab it out of the box, which is something I don't normally have to do. You can kind of normally tell when a game is going to get DLC, but I didn't really see it happening for Super Lucky's Tale, which is fine, but that's neither here nor there.
And you'd be wrong.
Yeah, I would have been wrong. So I just started tonight Duke Nukem 3D, the 20th Anniversary Edition.
That seems strange.
Well, it's on sale.
Okay, still.
And it's 1.5 hour completion.
With cheats, right?
With cheats.
Yes, okay.
So it's super easy. I only have 2 more I literally started it, I think, about 2 hours ago, and I have 1 or 2 more achievements, and I'll be done with it. So, I just picked it up, thought I'd get it done. And same thing with an ACA game that I played. Who the hell knows which one, right? What difference does it make? They're all they're all the same. It's oh god, they're just. I don't even know why I do it to myself. I really don't. This one wasn't even that bad. I figured it out pretty quickly. You could do the 2 controller trick, all that sort of stuff. But even then, I just get instantly irritated at the game. I'm like, this is so stupid. I hate this stupid game. Why am I doing this stupid thing? Anyways, I just don't like ACA games. And then that's it. Besides, of course, Red Dead.
Yeah, how much more time you put into that?
That's a great question. Let's find out. Because I remember complaining about, I think it was 17 or 18 hours last week. Right?
Yeah, and you said it was super slow, wasn't picking up, wasn't really going anywhere. Still feel that way?
So I played about 23 hours now.
Okay. And
I've gotten 1 more achievement since last week.
Have you made it to chapter 3?
I have. I did, yeah. Man, this game, it is so good, but it is also so slow. And, man.
So what makes it so good? Like, because I still am not sold based on what you told me last week.
It's fair. That's a fair point. So, I mean, it is standard Rockstar gameplay. I mean, if you've played GTA, or even old Red Dead, I mean, of course, old Red Dead is kind of outdated at this point. But certainly GTA. If you play GTA 5, you've played Red Dead 2. There's gameplay-wise, like in terms of what you're actually doing, there's no difference. So, me and Randy and a few others have been working on GTA Online for what feels like 14,000 years at this point.
Yep.
But I play it fairly frequently. I play GTA Online, maybe 2 weekends a month or so. And I'm not amazing, but I'm pretty decent. I know how to get headshots pretty frequently. Just the small mechanics of playing that game. And they transfer perfectly over to Red Dead. I'm whether I'm in a car trying to shoot somebody that's chasing me, or now I'm on a horse trying to shoot someone that's chasing me, I can do it pretty well at this point. Okay. So, like the actual nitty gritty gameplay is pretty similar. But basically, what makes it worth it is the attention to detail that Rockstar has. Right. The amazing world building that they have. I mean, just the smallest, tiniest things. Like, it's incredible. It really is. Just like every time you take a new road or you find a new town, it's like there's just 1,000 different things that you'll never see anywhere else in the game world, which makes it feel much more. I mean, it doesn't just make it feel. It is much bigger than most open world gameplay. Like, compared to something like an Assassin's Creed, where you're basically trying to do the same sort of thing just in different areas. Like, you got to find the feathers or whatever and do all the points of interest. GTA has that sort of, or sorry, Red Dead has that sort of stuff as well, but it also seems to mix it up much better than that. So it is good, but it is frustrating because it just feels like 90% of the time I'm just spent traveling on horseback through trees and like, okay, just get me to the thing.
Do you feel like you get sidetracked a lot, or are you still like, I mean, can you mainline it pretty well, or is the mainline kind of obscure because there's just so much to do?
There's so many missions. Even if you're just sticking to story missions, which would probably be pretty difficult to avoid the distractions. But if you were just sticking with story missions, it's still going to take you a long time to get through everything. Like I said, 80% of the game is spent traveling. So, that's just the way it is. I don't even think it's avoidable. Like I said, even after you unlock fast travel, it's one-way fast travel only from your camp and only into major cities. That's it. Mm-hmm. Like even GTA has the taxi system where you can just hop on a taxi and go anywhere you want to any... It definitely seems like a really big push for Red Dead from Rockstar was, I guess, authenticity or quote-unquote realism or, immersion. But at some point it becomes... It's immersion at gameplay's sake.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. And it's, again, I'm going to stick with it. I really am, but this is not a game for achievement people. That's for sure. Because, it'll be 3, 4, 5, 2-hour sessions where you won't get anything.
Right.
That's it. But that's okay. I am enjoying it as much as it is frustrating. It's still good. And I've got I'm hoping the in-game story tracker is telling me that I'm about 35% complete with the story.
Okay.
So we'll see. I don't know. This looks like maybe 70 hours, 80 hours. It's a big game. Very big game.
That's significant.
Yeah.
That's real significant. Now, is that, for completion or for like mainline, or what's the mainline look like?
So
you said you're 35.
No, I'm 20. I'm at 23, I think, right now.
Okay.
So I would guess if
35%.
Yes.
23 hours in, 35%.
Yeah.
You extrapolate that out. That's 60 hours of main campaign. I can't seem to think that that's the case.
I would say 50 to 60 for the campaign, 75-ish for the cleanup, and that's of course not including the online stuff because that's not even out yet. Even though that's like 2/3 of the achievements, or maybe not that much. It might be 25% of the achievements or whatever. But yeah, it's a hefty game. Yeah, because outside of the game, outside of the story missions, you have to do a lot of stuff. I think they really bragged about there was like 130 different animals. And you have to kill each of them in different ways and study them and stalk them and hunt them. And you got to get all the fish and you got to, all the sort of little Rockstar stuff. You got to get all the collectible missions.
Right.
They have dinosaur bones that are strewn throughout the world and these sorts of things. So it's a Rockstar game for sure, through and through. So
damn right, you kill every one of the animals. Extinction. That's what your game aiming for.
That's right.
Delightful. Man, this just sounds so daunting.
Yeah.
So when I put together my little hit list, I mentioned it last week, and I have 40 long campaign games on there, and I think by long campaign I mean 25 hours, right? That's long in these terms. And I look at some of these titles that are sitting out there, like Witcher 3 and any Final Fantasy, and where the hell is Red Dead going to fit on that list?
Yeah.
How am I ever going to be able to have any time to focus and get something done like that?
Yeah, it would be towards the back end of that. Sure, I haven't played Witcher, but I would say it's probably on par with something like Skyrim, so far as I can tell.
Yeah,
I haven't reached late game stuff yet, so it might be a little less or a little more, but it is big. It is a very big game.
That's nuts. I don't even know. What I like to do is focus on tiny little bite-sized things that I can just chomp off and take care of. And as such, I got 4 completions this week. which is great. So and now granted, only 2 of them have actually helped me with my Fream Hole completion challenge. That's the 30 completions in a year that all adhere to different random themes. And so I have 3 left, and I took down 2 of them this last week. I've got 1 more remaining, so let's get into it. So 2 of them that didn't count. I mentioned last week, because we recorded on Saturday, that I had some things I was going to talk about this week. Well, you know what it was? I busted out Connect 1.0. Yeah, it was a hoot. I've got a couple RTDL achievements on there from the Connect. And so I started off with a little solo adventure in the game Haunt. Did you guys ever play Haunt? It was an XBLA game that used the Connect, and you walked through a haunted mansion and had to dodge ghosts and do sorts of, random stuff with the Connect, such as cover your ears or yell at the TV. It was really, that was certainly one I couldn't play at night, but there's a ghost that in order to stun him, you have to make noise. And so I'd just be like, bah! And it would be enough to stun him.
Like a scary sheep? Is that what you were trying to be?
I made it so it was loud enough and sharp enough so that the Connect would pick it up.
That's fair.
But because here's the thing. There are times, if my kids are just talking in the background, it'll pick it up and it'll shoot out that shockwave and, kill enemies for me. So that was kind of nice, but that guy is by far the hardest to deal with. And so after you yell at him and stun him, then you got to throw a jab and punch him right in the stomach. There's a lot going on with this game, and it was, it's not terribly short. Despite being an XBLA title and only having, I think this one may have had 400 gamer score, but it might have only had 2. Anyway, 12 achievements, 200 gamer score. Ugh. But completion, got it finished. Cool little ending on that one. They did some funny things with Connect. You know how one of the achievements is there's a camera. And you have to find the flash bulb, and when you put the flash bulb in, if you turn the flash bulb on, it'll flash these crystals, and the crystals can hold the light. And so if you have all 3 crystals, it'll light up and hold this door open. Well, one of them's missing. And so if you do it, and there's not that crystal there, it'll have a little timer, and you can run in front of the camera and look at the camera, and it'll flash. And then if you go further into the building, there's a den, and your picture will be on the wall of when it took your picture in front of that camera. And so you look at your framed picture, and it's me in my living room just looking like a doofus. And they just do kind of stuff like that all over the place, where they'll throw you in there hey, here's a movie of you being an idiot, or whatever. Hey, there's bats coming. Flail your arms around, and then they're going to record you and show you later how stupid you looked. It was kind of funny. But I'm glad that's done. I'm glad that's over. And so then I moved on to my second adventure there, and that was Connect Adventures. And so I need to go through the main story in that one. And I've been doing that with my son. There is an achievement for doing everything with a teammate, but that's in the kind of free play mode. And so, it was fine just having him along, tagging along. We didn't get all the way through to where we needed to. I needed about 12 different events, and we only ended up getting half of those, 6 of those, to get this badge that I needed. So we'll have to go back to that. And then I have a Connect Sports one that once we finish Connect Adventures, I can go to Connect Sports. It's remarkable how archaic the Connect 1.0 is. It is not good. It is really not good. I don't remember if I one of my completions, and I don't remember if I finished it last week or not, but Grim Legends, I got my RTDL one, and I had to finish my playthrough there with my, one of the Domino games or something? Anyway, finished that thing up, so that was one of my other completions. And then it was an RTDL Blitz. So I fired up Ori and the Blind Forest. Man, that game's so good. That game is so damn good. It took me about 20 minutes just to relearn the mechanics. So I'm at pretty much the end of the game, the last area. And so to relearn how to do the bash jump, and at this point I have a triple jump, and all these things, and it's what the hell am I? It's took a little bit, like riding a bike, but man, once you get it, man, it's so smooth. And so I ended up getting that achievement there. And this one is definitely on my hit list. Like, I'm excited to go back. And here's the problem. I was playing through without a guide, and that means the two areas that once you're done with are no longer accessible. I missed some secrets in there. And as such, then I cannot get my 100% completion on this playthrough. Now, granted, I have to do other completions where I get no ability points and none of that stuff, and it's like, ugh, but those are like the fast ones and the difficult ones, and so this one I might have to just say normal Ori. I'm going to have to say I can't do it, and I'll focus on Definitive Edition and try and get that completion. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where that ends up. The other one is Unravel. I played Unravel. Of course, we have need those U's for Foo Cuddly Poof for the Gamertag Challenge. So Unravel's a perfect one. It was on my RTDL. I needed to finish level 4, which meant I had to play through level 3 and then level 4. Beautiful, beautiful game. I absolutely have to use a guide. I've been trying to like start each level without, and it is just so quick that I get frustrated because I can't solve a puzzle. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and then all of a sudden you see what they're doing, and it's like, oh, that really makes sense. Why can't I think like that? What the hell's wrong with me?
Just imagine you're made of yarn, Fream. It's easy.
But it's one of those, like, and granted, if I felt like I had enough time to do the trial and error, like, that would be okay. But like, I would constantly like see where I need to go, and then I'd run out of string, and it's like, damn it, what am I missing? Like, where's the yarn ball that I need to tie off on to get continuing? And I ended up with a few different achievements in that one, but I got my RTDL from that one, and then moved on to Shovel Knight. Those of you who have not played Shovel Knight at this point, and are an elder statesman gamer who remember how much fun those old school Mega Man is. This is like the movement mechanics are way better than that, but it just has that feel of Mega Man 2. It's so good. It is so much fun, and just all the cool little things they put in here. And this achievement was for collecting $2,000 while you are on spikes, and so you need a special item to do that. But so I was trying to even just find spikes. That was hard enough as is, because the place they mentioned is like, well, I don't want to go backwards and do this forest. I already completed it, so I tried to find some other dungeons and stuff, and I was like, oh, there's no spikes in here. This is a lava level, and no, this is not a spike level. This is just pits, and so it took me forever to find spikes. Finally did, got the achievement. I think I'm about halfway through the Shovel Knight portion of that. Of course, then there's the Spectre Knight, the Plague Knight. That game is huge, and so if you're a fan of those old school platformers, Shovel Knight's the way to go. It's
one of those games that I've really, really always wanted to play, but just haven't. I really do. Like, I really want to. And just for a little bit of information, a little fun fact here: Shovel Knight is in Smash Brothers as well. So
yeah. Isn't he? Is he assist? He's just an assist trophy.
He's an assist trophy. Yep.
Yeah. He's in Banjo-Tooie as well. Or no, sorry, not Banjo-Tooie. Ukulele.
I was very confused.
Ukulele.
I was very, very confused. Oh, he was. That's right. He showed up and he was just standing there with his shovel. Yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
Wasn't he in Rare Replay? Did he show up in that at one point for the Battletoads thing? Or did the Battletoads show up in his game? There was a crossover there. I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was a thing. No, that wouldn't make sense for him to be in Rare Replay, but I guess it would make sense for the Battletoads to be in there, I guess.
Hold that thought, because I'm going to circle back, because Shovel Knight is in another game that I played. I'll get there.
Okay.
Before I do, though, I finally finished Sonic the Fighters. I had
takes
stopped,
like 10 minutes, man.
It really does. I had stopped at stage 4 because that was the random to-do list I needed back in the day. I was like, I'll just pick it up and do it later. And then, of course, it's been probably a year since. But hey, stage 5 came up, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm completing this stupid game. And so, sure enough, I took the 20 minutes it took to finish that thing. Of course, I had to start over from the beginning. Right, you can't necessarily. I don't think I save stated that one, or if I did, I lost it long ago. But I got that completion. That one does count toward my completion challenge because that is my backwards compatible game. And so I have 2 left. One of those is
Star Wars?
well, that's one of them. The other is a game that has a familial member in it. So mother, brother, father. I went with Max, The Curse of Brotherhood, because NBA Kirkland has been on my case about playing that game, finishing that game. So I did. I didn't have to work today. My kids had off from school, and so we didn't know that early in the week. And daycare was like, "Hey, it'll be great because I'm just going to drop the kids off at school, and then we're taking off to go to this wedding." And all of a sudden, I was like, "Wait a minute, the kids don't have school. Crap!" So I have no daycare and no school. Well, someone has to stay home, and so that was me. But that meant Thursday night I got no obligations. I can stay up late, and so I did. I finished the main campaign on Tuesday night, Monday night, one of those nights. Beat the boss, did that kind of thing. And so I spent Thursday night on cleanup duty. And that was getting all the evil eyes, getting the amulet pieces, and beating the final boss without dying. And sure enough, got that thing finished. I finished just over 8 hours. It was like 8 hours and 20 minutes, I think. So I think on my completion times, I said 6 to 8. I kind of dilly-dallied a little bit. If you did that with a guide, you could definitely get it done faster than 8. Delightful game. Love the mechanics on that. Have either of you played that? Did you do Max Curse the Brotherhood?
Oh, yeah. I finished the Xbox One version first, and then I got I picked up the 360 version, and then I also picked up, I don't know if you saw this, Fream, the incomplete or unreleased version on the 360 as well.
No.
I don't know what was special about that made it unreleased, but I picked that up, and I've got it sitting there. I'm looking forward to it. It is a fun type of game. I do enjoy those.
The mechanics are so cool, and they're just such a unique puzzles that go along with those, and they're fairly intuitive, nice and straightforward. But for the completion, to get to like the little nooks and crannies and all that stuff, like you really have to be clever. So just completing it A to B, you'll feel good about yourself because you have to put some brain power to it, but then it's not insurmountable. But to get to completion, if you wanted to put the time into it, of course I didn't. I don't have the time, but that's like a next level type of brain power that it's just delightful. It is absolutely delightful.
It is a good-looking, very well animated 360 game. It's it looks well ahead of its time in terms of the quality, I think.
Which you gotta wonder why Microsoft shut Press Play down.
Yeah, it's sad. I really would have loved to have seen something more from them, especially after finally getting around to playing that game.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys have a much higher opinion of that game than I do.
Oh boy,
you didn't care for it?
No, I don't dislike it. I just think I thought it was pretty generic and kind of boring. But that's fine.
So
it was
drawing crap with your little marker?
I
felt like that was a unique mechanic.
Kind of. But you only basically drew straight lines most of the time. And it was fine. I don't think it's a bad game by any means. I'm surprised to hear you say that it was amazing when I felt like it was mostly mediocre.
I will say my biggest gripe is that I felt like the platforming could have been tighter.
Yeah, the controls are floaty, and it's and
some of the edges, like it's very questionable where the fall is. Like what's the hitbox? There were some of those issues where it was like, what the hell's going on here? And you get the same kind of things too about like clipping through things, because you have the fluidity to just make branches and vines and all these weird things all over the place. Like you end up doing some things. It's like, oh crap, I just got this boulder collapsed on me and I'm stuck behind something, and that happened occasionally. A few technical hiccups, but I just thought it was charming and the snappiness of the drawing was pretty cool.
I seem to remember it got a little bit kind of janky towards the end, but I thought that the platforming and most of that was pretty good, pretty solid. Yeah, there were some issues with the drawing of the lines, trying to make ladders and such climb up. I do remember that. It has been a while, but yeah, I remember it as thinking this is something that's a little bit special. Maybe definitely not boring or so, but I definitely thought it was a highlight or one of the better games.
Story was whatever.
Yeah, that could be.
Story's fine. Save your brother. Yeah. But it was a mechanical thing that I thought was just fun. Mm-hmm. It was unique and fun.
Fream, that means you have to do Star Wars now. No more excuses.
So I totally started the Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Now here's my thing. It's got $20 of DLC that I need to do if I want to get that completion. And we're looking at 20 hours. I started it today. And I was really debating as whether I was just going to say screw it. But I was like, let me give it a shot. Let's see how it is. It's kind of fun. It's clippy as hell, because you can interact with so much stuff, but there is something cool about picking crap up and just whipping it at dudes. Or just picking up dudes and whipping them around.
Force choking. It is a fun game.
For sure.
And the nice thing about that DLC is that you can get the difficulty levels. You can go there in like one difficulty level, and then you can sort of change it. So you definitely can shortcut the DLC difficulty achievements. But
that's nice.
It's not a short game.
It's if you care, maybe you don't, but it's also kind of a cool thought experiment or stretching of Star Wars canon. Like what is? It's basically just a fun. Hey, what if there's this cool guy that can do all this badass stuff? And what if you could be an awesome ultimate badass Jedi in the middle of all this nonsense? And it's just a cool way to expand the Star Wars universe in a way that I don't think we're going to see for a long time.
It's so sad.
Oh gosh, no.
1313.
Yep.
I'm so
R.I.P.
sad. You were talking about that last week, and I was just like, no.
Yeah,
it hurt. It just opened the wounds all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the final game I played, and it is one of our news segment items here. It is a brand new free-to-play game called, and this is where Shovel Knight comes in. This one, and another game you played, Koosh, in Rayman. This is Brawlhalla. Did you guys play Brawlhalla at all? Did you download it?
So, okay. This is I have some thoughts and some things to say. I am
like grinning ear to ear just to hear you.
I'm
my face hurts.
I'm sitting back.
I'm smiling so
waiting.
hard.
Okay. So, we are on the precipice now of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It comes out in less than a month. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Like, I've reached fever pitch levels of hype for this game. So this is interesting to see. It's basically it's a platform fighter, but it's with sprites, which I think the only other one that I'm aware of was there was a web-based one that some fans had made a while back.
Rivals of Ether.
Yeah. And
that has Ori
it does.
in it, by the way.
I bought it just for that.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. I watched the trailer, and it's really interesting to see the kind of differences between something like a sprite-based and a 3D model-based game of this type. I don't know. So so it's free. So I kind of have no reason.
Free.
I kind of have no reason to not play it. So I might actually use it to fill the gap in the holes in my heart until Smash comes out. But I have a lot of questions and Rayman's in it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. So
Koosh, have you played it?
I downloaded it and I played it I guess I got it the first day it came out, so the online wasn't working.
Yes, it totally wasn't working.
So I did some practice, and I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not going to get any achievements by doing practice. I guess that's good because I don't really see myself playing this game. Because everything you have to do is online, and that I don't know if I can find.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it seems like to me, yeah. But if we can get a boost going or something, or if that's possible, then maybe.
I'm not even sure that's going to be possible. But here's the thing. Okay, so I've been perusing the list quite a bit, and to be honest, it's not. Despite being a free-to-play game, it is not as daunting as I think. It will be grindy. I mean, it will be. There will be some elements to this that will be grindy. Specifically, and I'm looking at, there's 2 achievements on here that I think will be the most significant, and that will be probably the winning 100 matchmaking, or winning 250 matchmaking games. Now, games are 4 minutes, 5 minutes-ish. They're quick. This is a very fast-paced brawler. I mean, you can tweak some of the stock levels and stuff, but because you have to play online, most of it is set to stock 3 or 5 based on whatever the game mode is, and there's no percentage, visible percentage. What happens is you have a color bar next to your name, and as that color bar transitions from yellow to orange to red, that signifies how far you travel. And this game is it's weapon-based. So you start off with no weapons, and the characters have different stats. So they don't have different moves, they just have different stats. So some guy might be more agile, some guy might have a little higher jump, some guy might be a little stronger, but
so you're
slower.
saying they all have the same moves?
They all have very similar moves, not the same.
Okay.
But there's no special moves, per se. What it is whatever weapons they have dictate what their moveset is. And so, there's one guy named Mirage. Maybe it's a girl. And she has access to a scythe and a spear are her 2 main weapons. And so the scythe has some very distinct movesets to it. So you have your normal attack with X, which, can be used as jabs and peppering. And then you have your charge attack with B or Y, which you can hold and do a more significant attack. So up charge, down charge, left to right charge, or just holding it stationary will do different things. So, for instance, the scythe, if you charge and hit a guy, you can grab them with the scythe and then swing and hit them like a golf club. And it's like a 2-hit, like a 1 stun, and then a secondary is a smash hit. And you can kind of catch them in midair and do that. There's a bow and arrow, and one of them is it's a shot to stun, and then it's like just a power shot that shoots right through them, but you can aim it down. And so if you got a guy jumping in off the edge, you hit him and stun him and then down him, and he goes flying into the earth, like just plummeting to his death. And so it's just getting and I'm not great at this game yet. Like the movement is awesome. The recovery you have is really good. Even though there's no up B saving moves, where like Kirby can just float wherever he goes, you have 2 jumps and an up B attack.
Oh, Fream. And I just have to correct you, just because I'm going to be pedantic now. Kirby's up B is his up down sword slice.
His just floaty.
Yeah, he can just jump a lot, so he could.
But his up B can save him too. If
no, it does. It does. It's just it's different. He has 5 regular jumps and then an up B. So, sorry, you picked my character. I can't just let that go, man. So, sorry.
So, there's none of that. But so you get your double jump, and then as your last-ditch effort, you can do a charge thrust with whatever weapon you have, and that can be your third. Hopefully, you can get to a wall. There is wall jumping in this, though. So, if you get to the side of the wall, you can just kind of bounce your way up. So, you actually have a pretty decent amount of saving that you can do. And there's, so aside from the weapons, there's a couple of pickups. There's like a bomb. There's a spike ball that you can throw. You can throw your weapons. It's cool. I like it. It's, so far so good. The netcode is fantastic. I have not had any laggy issues. I have not had any connection issues. The movement, there's been no stuttering. It has been fluid as hell. Which is so much better than what I experienced in Brawlout. Like, this is just delightful.
What's the competition
Talk to me about... Oh, yeah.
So I've been getting my ass kicked pretty significantly. They are good. Now, there is an ELO system, so I played a few ranked matches. You kind of have to... And here's what's nice about it is, yes, you have to win 250 matchmaking games, but you can play whatever games you want, because they only require you to play 3 of every game mode. So 3 2v2s, ranked 2v2s, 3 friendly 2v2s, 3 free-for-alls, 3 Brawl of the Weeks, 3 ranked 1v1s. So like if you play 3 1v1s, you're like, I don't really like 1v1. I'm terrible at it. I get my butt kicked all the time. I'm not going to play that one. I'm going to do, like, I like the Brawl of the Week. This week, I was, those of you who played Rayman Legends, it was Kung Foot. You played Kung Foot and used your weapons to hit the ball back and forth. I'm not good at that. But I got my achievements for the week doing that one. I like the friendly. I like, free for all is cool too. It's 4 people, all on their own. I enjoyed that, and it's that one's just however many kills you can get in 5 minutes, I think. Which I won. I won my first game. That was fun. There are. So free to play. That's what you want to know, right? The dual currencies. Is that what you're going to ask about, Proulx?
That wasn't my first question, but go ahead. Yeah, that is. I'm curious about that as well. So
there are achievements for earning gold. There's an achievement for earning 100,000 gold, 50,000, and 25,000. So those will be some grinds. But as far as I can tell right now, my daily. So I got 3 days in, and I'm getting about $135 a day. Just in the gold. So that'll take some time to get to 100,000.
It should be stated that nobody has any of these achievements.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
But you also get a daily mission. And so the daily missions I've seen so far have been win one game or play 2 games with one of these 2 characters.
Oh, that's always nice.
Super easy, and for that you get $150. And so as of now, I think I've played 10 games. I've done the tutorials, and I'm about $5,000. And so, so far, not it's the gold is coming. I'm getting it, and there are characters you can buy with gold. They cost like $7,000, I think, $8,000. So you can buy those guys. Rayman is one of those guys you can buy for $7,200. Here's the other thing. There are mammoth coins. Of course, this is Brawlhalla. It is Viking-based, Valkyries and ancient Norse warriors. And so there are mammoth coins that, as far as I can tell, real money only. You cannot earn those in any of the play modes I found. You're not gifted any. I have not seen anything that will get you that. But I've also only seen that they are cosmetic. Of course, the characters play differently, so it might be some gameplay, but I haven't seen like their stats be like, whoa, this guy, if you paid for this guy, he's got max stats. Everybody looks pretty balanced. Haven't seen anything that looks standoutedly bad, and all that it looks like is cosmetic, like your and they've got some actually kind of cool skins, right? So it's Norse based, but you can get one that's called Future Retro or something, and it looks like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, where you got like the neon 80s, like DeLorean comes in, and your dudes all look like, neo-punks. There was one that was, what the hell was the other one that I thought was kind of cool? So they had some neat character skins that you could have, and some of your weapons can, I think my son said, because it's also on the Switch as well, for free. And so my son's been playing on Switch, and he says one of the weapons are these dual pistols. I think they're called blasters, and you can get them so they both look like sharks. So you're holding 2 shark guns for whatever reason, so they just kind of do some silly fun things with them. But I'm intrigued by this. I will continue to do my dailies. I'll play and get the daily quest and just kind of chip away at this, and let's just see where it goes. But I've been having a lot of fun with it. I can only play about 5 matches before my thumb starts to just throb with I don't have my the stamina that I normally do with these types of games.
So okay, my other question was,
what was your other question? Yeah,
characters. Is Rayman the only interesting character?
So Shovel Knight is in there.
Okay,
you can buy him as a skin. Well, and so that's the thing. Okay, so when you start, I think there's 12 legends, they're called, and they're pretty indistinct. They're humanoid characters, and I haven't seen any so I think there's there's a pirate named Lucian, just kind of has a pirate hat. Like I haven't really seen anything. He favors the pistols, the guns. There's like a cowgirl named Cassidy who also favors the pistols. I don't know what her secondary is. I think one of the most unique guys I saw was this. He looks like a space orc named Zull, Xull. He's got this weird, like, battering ram cannon. It's super strange, but so he'll use it like if you see a SWAT member trying to bash down a door, so he'll use that and he'll hit you in the gut with it and then fire you out of it. Like, it's super cool. It's super powerful. The dude's super slow, but man, that can really pound guys. And it's got a good when you do your smash attack with that, it has a nice, like, a dash move with it, so you can actually use it to save yourself. He's kind of cool. There's this girl, and I don't even know what her name is because she showed up. I usually play random just because I don't know anybody yet. And so this girl showed up, and she favors a hammer, and the hammer is super slow, but man, it's powerful. There's a guy who's like he reminds me of who the hell's that guy in Soul Calibur, the samurai, Mitsurugi.
That sounds right.
Is he the? Yeah. Anyway, he has the sword, quick attacks, pretty floaty, not super powerful. There's a female knight who favors the bow. I think the Shovel Knight character, there is actually a knight. He looks like he kind of has like large ornate crystalline armor on. And he has these just ridiculous jousting spears that are just massive. So the characters they're unique, they're interesting, but like as of now, because we only have access to 12 of them, like you look at all the other skins and the other variants of them, and you're like, oh man, all these other ones are way cooler than the ones they give you, and it's like, oh boy, I wish I had some mammoth coins. Like I could,
That's
I
how
could
they
get
get
Rayman, or you could play as Barbara or Glowbox. Mm-hmm. Those are the other Rayman characters, or like I said, Shovel Knight. There's like 40 characters or so. I mean, there's a ton. Everybody's grayed out except the top 12, and it's like, damn it. I like it, Proulx. I like it, and it's free. I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I might, maybe if I'm bored or really hankering. It sounds a little shallow, but we'll see. I might give it a shot.
Yeah, but what else do you want? I mean, look, it's Smash Brothers Ultimate, pretty darn ultimate. Yeah. Smash Brothers, like, Brawl, Melee, what the hell else did they have?
Well, what do you mean?
It was just the fighting. Like,
but they were all the characters were unique. That's kind of the point of Smash Brothers. Like, that's if you're saying what it sounds like you're saying is if you take that element away, it's actually kind of boring. Like it's like if all the characters act and behave.
Sure, I get what you're saying. 90%
the same. You don't care. Like we learned in Brawl Out, if you don't care about any of the characters at all, it removes a lot of the fun of the game. But it's free, and so I can't complain. And maybe I'll maybe if maybe like you're doing dailies or a few matches a day. That might not be bad. We'll see.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, so I think that'll be it that's certainly it for my gaming. We'll see how I get on with Star Wars. That's gonna be my focus because I've totally given up on UHH. I'm super frustrated that I've got that garbage lists now because I said I had Game Pass. Like that just blows. So my new focus, getting this thing done, because little birdie told me that there might be an event coming up in December that people like to enjoy, and so that's going to take up a lot of my time. I don't know if
is it UHH?
No, that's done before. That'll be done before Thanksgiving.
Another UHH?
We have another couple weeks of that. No, remember last year what we did?
I don't remember.
12 Days of Christmas, right?
Oh, yes.
Hey-o.
Yes, that's right.
So
that was fun.
Don't know.
Yeah, that was fun.
Maybe there will be something again like that this year.
The 13 Days of Christmas.
No, but there are different things you have to do.
Yeah, that was fun.
So if you remember last year's, what what the requirements were. Like one was completed, the partridge was completing a game. Whatever. I don't even remember the list, but new list. They're all new and they're all awesome. I'm excited. So yeah, keep your eye out on True Achievements for that. We'll see when Rich decides to announce that, and we're trying to gear up for the events for 2019. I got a bunch of good stuff on there, and I just got to lock in with Rich about what he wants to run. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk some news. Let's talk about what's happening in the world of gaming. Just get a few things that the community should know about. And certainly this crew, at least Koosh and I, let's talk Blizzard. Of course, they had BlizzCon, and they made some announcements. And we talked last week about how awful Diablo Immortal, the phone thing that put everybody off. Well, it came out this week that, and now granted, there was a redaction. Well, redaction is not the right word. Correction. But according to Jason Schreier of Kotaku, and this, I mean, Jason knows his stuff, man. This guy he's a bloodhound when it comes to digging up dirt. His original article said that Blizzard had scrapped their video announcement of Diablo 4 for BlizzCon. Now, he made an update and said that that's not necessarily true. That they did make a video, but it wasn't intended for BlizzCon, and that they've always stood by saying that they're not ready to make an announcement or talk about it. But it's, saying but not saying, they're totally working on Diablo 4, but they have no idea what's going on, because kind of the background of this is saying, like, this game has changed focus like 2 or 3 times already. Like over this course of development, like this game has morphed into different things, and so what Diablo 4 was, 5 years ago is different than it was 2 years ago, and it's constantly evolving. According to Jason Schreier, he says they've heard at least 2 different iterations under at least two different directors. And so he apologized for saying that this was his intention about making this announcement at BlizzCon, but we still don't have confirmation that, like, what the hell's going on here. When do we get to hear about Diablo 4? And like, why is it changing so many times? Like, what the hell are they doing over there? You mean Diablo 3, when the hell did that come out?
2012?
2012,
I think.
On PC, May of 2012.
Yeah.
The Reaper of Souls, when we got it on consoles, was 2014. I mean, that's a long time.
Do you remember when Activision bought Blizzard? And we were all kind of worried. Like, what does that mean? It feels like this week was kind of that.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
I don't know. You guys seem to be very down on the Diablo Eternal. I don't see that as such a bad thing. I mean, we have lots of options as gamers. So if this one particular game from Blizzard just doesn't do it for you, I don't really see how that's so disconcerting or so bad. I'm definitely going to try it out. My understanding is that they're trying to capture the Chinese market, and the market of the people that they're playing their games mobile, like 80-90%. And then they the console gaming is not a huge factor for them. So this is their way of trying to kind of just stick their foot in the door in that market. And Blizzard is very good at doing that. They're very good at sticking their foot indoors and just blowing away the competition. So
Sure.
I'm definitely going to give it a shot. I'm not one of these fanboys who are just crying about stuff. I'm very interested in checking it out. Now, do I think it's going to be for me? It depends on whether or not it has achievements. If it doesn't have achievements, it's just not going to stick. But I will,
Right.
I'll try it out then.
But I don't think, and I agree that Blizzard really doesn't care that much about consoles. I mean, it took 2 years for us to get it on consoles. Like, they'll do PC first for sure. But I think, like, the issue about Diablo Immortal was it's like we got Thanksgiving coming up, right? So if you go to your parents' house and you're like, oh man, I'm super excited for Thanksgiving, I can't wait, and mom's like, hey, it's Thanksgiving, we've got ham, and you're like, what? I wanted turkey. It's Thanksgiving. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, I don't want ham. Like, no, it's Thanksgiving. Give me some turkey. That's what people are saying.
Sure.
Where's my Diablo 4? I want Diablo 4. And you're giving me Diablo Immortal? Like, I don't want my phone. I want to play on my computer. And that's why people are so pissed. They felt like the rug got pulled out from under them. And there were so many clues, so many things, and I think that's why this article got so much traction, was that people were so anticipating a Diablo 4 announcement, and the fact that they didn't get it, and instead, according to Randy, and again, I don't have confirmation on this, but I'm going to yield to him in saying that this is very much similar to an already existing game with a Diablo skin on it. Like, I mean, I saw the Westworld thing that they painted on top of Fallout Shelter. Like, that's kind of gross. Now, granted, they did it illegally, but, like, still, those types of things where it's like, oh, hey, you guys like Pokemon Go? How about we make Diablo Go? And you can, that's what in my head is this.
Yeah,
you're
it's
right,
not,
Koosh. I'm overly cynical.
Well, no. I mean, to be fair, it's about expectations, and I don't think people are upset. Like, if they were like Diablo, what is it? Immortal. Like, if they were like Diablo, we're also coming out with Diablo, and whatever on your phone, and like that was like one of those sort of. And here's one more thing at the end of their press conference. Nobody would have cared. Nobody would have mattered. Okay, cool, great. But the thing is, like their attitude about it, and about what you have a phone, don't I mean, they're just building animosity towards it. It's especially if you had two projects to bring to those people, and one was your mobile game, and one was your actual Diablo 4. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna please as many people with your mobile game. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
I mean, let's think back to E3 of this year. I can think of this exact experience, and you got, all right, hey, Gears Tactics, okay, not really what I want, but that's kind of cool. Oh, okay, here it is, another Gears announcement. Funko Pop? What the hell is this? Are you kidding me? Get out of here with that garbage. And then, just kidding. Well, that's a thing, but we also have Gears 5. And the impact of Gears 5 was like, fine, you got me. But man, that Funko thing, I still don't know about that.
To be fair, I didn't follow the Diablo story too closely. Is it understood that the developers are not Blizzard developers, and instead they farm this out, and it's not up to the Blizzard standard?
I'll have to yield to Randy on that one. That's the information he provided.
You know what?
Me.
Blizzard has kind of earned the right, I think, at least for me, they've earned the right to float something. They have canceled so many things that were garbage. They've canceled so many things that were not garbage, and that were fun to play and looked like they were great and were very close to being released. Things like StarCraft Ghost.
Just going to bring that up.
And so that game was like pretty much done. And then they said, you know what? No, it's not. It's not a Blizzard game. It's not what we want to be out there. They're going to release this thing. I mean, if it's got the Blizzard name on it, I think they've got to think they have something there, and I think it's worth checking out. And like I said, there's just so much to play that I can't be too upset if they have a stinker. I'm not going to be too upset because we know Diablo 4 is going to happen at some point, and it's going to be awesome.
According to this, it's a collaboration with a Chinese company, NetEase. That's who's doing it. So it's a collaborative effort to make Diablo Immortal.
Well, like I said, they've earned my my trust. I'm gonna trust that they're not gonna put their name on it, even if it's a collaboration. if it's a piece of garbage. So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm interested. I'm at least interested. Again, not for me. I don't... I look at my phone, like, so right now I'm playing a match 3 puzzle game on my phone. That makes sense for me. Like, that's the type of pace I can do, because how the hell am I going to be, neck deep in Rift Goblins and my wife calls me to tell me to go pick up the groceries? Like, I'm going to be pissed. Like, how the hell does that even work? Like, maybe if I had my phone and I had my Pocket DS or something, like, that a gaming device for me has to be primarily that, a gaming device. I want it to focus on my gaming device, because I'm like, even today when I was playing Star Wars and I was trying to like find these stupid holocrons, and my wife kept calling to be like, hey, this is what we're going to do tonight. I'm like, fine, just tell me when you get home. Like, I don't need to have this conversation. You're literally driving home right now. Just give me these last 15 minutes so I can get to a save point.
What about you? What are you playing games on your phone that are not your Windows phone and not for achievements? Do you do any gaming?
The only gaming I do on my phone, aside from my Windows phone stuff, is Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. Okay. See, I play no games. I used to download stuff, and I get stuck in that thing where I go to the store and everything looks amazing, and then I download it and I never play it. Or if I do play it, the freemium model comes in, and all of a sudden they want you to buy stuff and do this and do that, and I just forget about it, and then it just sits there, and I just download update after update after update and never play the games. So I've taken to just deleting them. I really just don't play any games on my phone. And like I said, this Diablo thing, unless there's achievements tied to it, I'm probably going to check it out, and then I'm probably going to check out and just not really go back to it, unless it's amazing.
Yeah,
what do you do on the toilet?
Twitter, Facebook. I see what kind of nonsense and shenanigans are going on Discord, those sorts of things. But I plan out my gaming. But yeah, I just don't really game that much. Working from home, I don't have the commute, so really my game time isn't that great for for a phone.
To be fair, I can't really play games on my phone while I'm commuting. That's dangerous.
Yes. I was thinking about my commute to DC when I used to live in Columbia. And I would have like an hour or 45 minutes on the metro. And then I did play. I'd play my 3DS or my PSP. And that was fun. But now there's just no time for gaming on the phone. I'm driving.
Yeah, that's the thing too. And I think that's why a lot of people were a little salty about this announcement. Mobile gaming generally sucks. And even if you're Blizzard, it's still probably going to suck. And would you rather have Diablo 4 or Diablo Mobile? I think 90% of gamers, or I guess just Blizzard fans or people that play these games, are going to say, give me Diablo 4 over it every single time. And it feels way more like a cash grab, because of course it'll be successful and they'll make money off of it. But Blizzard, a company that's, I would say, pretty well known for being, a gamer friendly and the sort of company that we look up to and want a lot of other companies to be. When they're taking that low road, the easy low road, it's like, I feel their frustration. I get both sides of that issue, but it's just, okay, fine. Put Diablo on the phone. I probably won't play it. I'll probably play it once, like you mentioned, Koosh. Like I'll play it once or twice, and then I'll never touch it again. And you'll still make $1 bazillion off of it because a lot of people will download it, but that's not what we're looking for out of Blizzard.
So here, let me maybe shine a little bright ray of sunshine into your world. We did get Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, which was a phone version of a game that was a console version. So maybe it will get ported because we have lots of phone ports. That totally happens.
That is a thing that happens.
That is a thing that happened. Like, who was I listening to? It was probably an old podcast or whatever. And I was like, hey, that game that was really good and awesome on consoles? Well, we ported it to a phone, and people liked it on the phone. So we're going to port it back and give you that crappier version so you could play it again, only just not as good. But pay us again.
I think they did that with a God of War game. I think there was a God of War game out for phones that was garbage, and then they brought it back to the console.
Delightful. So, speaking of Final Fantasy 15, let's move on and talk about this train wreck that's happening right now. Have you guys followed this at all? What the hell is happening over at Square Enix? Let's start with the Tabata. Hajime Tabata he's leaving as the director of the Final Fantasy games. Is gone. He's out. He's like, I'm stepping down. He stepped down a month ago, apparently. I didn't realize it was that long ago. But they are still in the midst of supporting Final Fantasy 15. Apparently, they had a whole bunch of DLCs planned for this thing. And he's like, Tabata's out. I'm gone. We'll see ya. That was on Halloween. And well, I guess that wasn't even that was 2 weeks ago. Maybe that was when he was officially out. That he put in his resignation probably earlier. And then Nomura, of course, who helped with the Final Fantasy 15 stuff. Well, he's on Kingdom Hearts right now, getting that thing hopefully going. And so now, like, Final Fantasy 15 is kind of floating around in limbo. And we get the announcement like, hey, you know all that DLC that was going to come out? The Comrades stuff? It's already out there now. But you know we released all that? This is what we're going to do. We're going to take all that, and we're going to make a standalone game for that. And all of you that played it on the console version, yeah, we're going to cancel that and shut those servers down in December. So hopefully you got that finished, because we're going to have you pay for it again over here. You guys cool with that? Like, this is crazy talk.
I have not been following it that closely to see where they're shutting down people's access and then moving them over someplace else. That I don't quite follow that, but for my money, I mean, it's a long game. And yeah, it kind of sucks that, you bought the DLC or the season pass and you're expecting to get 5 pieces of content and you're only getting 2 or 3. That kind of sucks, but not being so invested in the Final Fantasy series and just loving it, it's okay by me. I bought it on sale. I'm happy with the content that I will eventually play 10 years from now.
That's what I'm at
not
too.
Too upset.
Looking at it's like, well, how fast can I get to this comrade? Like, should I boot this up and try and figure out how to get these achievements before they get discontinued as part of Final Fantasy proper? Like, is that a thing I can do from scratch, or do I have to actually play the game first?
I will wait for Chin Doctor to tell me, and then I will assign it priority based on his response.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
he tends to know things about such things.
I got into this discussion earlier today on Discord, and it's like, I've never really played a Final Fantasy, so yeah.
Do you have any interest in them though? Like, even if you haven't played them, they don't do anything for you.
I played Final Fantasy 11, which was the MMO.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I had to get a Ethernet adapter for my PS2.
Right?
Jeez. Back in the day. So yeah, no, I don't care. But that's just my. Yeah, I don't know. This is weird. Is this guy like supposed to be some awesome dude, or I don't know. I don't know.
Tabata's the dude. Tabata's the man. Yeah, he's well regarded as visionary for this series. At times, people have questioned what the hell he's doing with the series. But he certainly has provided unique takes and aspects on Final Fantasy as a series. And so people do respect him for that, kind of Kojima level type influence. So it will be sad that he's no longer part of it. Of course, the game will continue to live on. He hasn't directed. Actually, I should look at which ones he's directed. Because there's no way he did all 15 of them. I think it was a big deal that he came back for 15, and that people were really excited because they felt as though Final Fantasy had lost its way, which I totally agree with. The main thing for me is, and if Final Fantasy may not mean anything if you didn't grow up with that. Like most people, they'll say, if you were old enough to say Final Fantasy 1, that had its flaws, but it was really unique on the NES. And then, of course, Final Fantasy 2, which was 4, right, for the Super Nintendo. Man, I put so much time into that as a kid, and it was so formative in my gaming life that that's why it holds such a special place in so many people's hearts, because it's been so ubiquitous in gaming for so long that there likely was a title that really resonated with you. And whether it is, for me, Final Fantasy 2, 4-ish, whatever, Final Fantasy 3, 6 was another one that people tended to really like. And then 7 was amazing. 9, people, what the hell are they doing with 9? This is crazy on the PlayStation. Oh my God, I've never seen this before. So they have done things that have just been really remarkable in terms of the Western side of us seeing it, that, it's resonated with a lot of people. And because it's such a long-standing franchise, they tend to have, pretty strong feelings about it. Now, that being said, the last 15 was a ray of sunshine, because it had changed quite a bit of things, but seemed to, despite bringing it to more of an action combat type thing, at least maybe captured the essence of those old games a little bit better than what people widely regard as the 13 series just not being great. And of course the dabbling in the MMOs, which to some people really enjoyed, but again, not something that I cared for. So it's had its up and down. It's been a roller coaster of a ride, and this is another one of those things of, like, knowing how long 15 had been in development, like, to just see this thing just kind of come off the rails here at the end. It was like, how did it survive so long? And now that it's out and it appears as though it's selling well, like, just completely falling apart. I guess I don't know what Tabata wants to do now. Like, I mean, because I felt like he was always tied to this for so long that maybe just wants to do something else. I don't know. Who knows? There's a lot to unpack there. This is, if Final Fantasy is not your thing, fine. I like you said, Koosh, I bought it. I have the Royal Edition. I'm excited to play it at some point when time stops and I'm not frozen in time, but everyone else is. I don't know when it's going to happen.
Exactly.
It's too bad. But yeah, so if Chin Doctor would be a great resource, I don't have any information from you, but December 12th is when the Comrades part of it is getting pulled away, and it will be a separate game. It might be free to play, is what I'm reading here. But as far as the DLC attachment to Final Fantasy 15, that is the date that those servers are closing, and looks like it'll be free to players who have the DLC and $10 for everyone else. That's what the TrueAchievements.com article says. So who knows? We'll see. The final thing I want to talk about, and this was just kind of fun. I thought this was clever. So Microsoft, you know who they are. They bought this tiny little indie game called Minecraft back in the day for $2.5 billion.
You don't say.
Just this tiny little thing. Maybe nobody's ever heard of it. But Microsoft is also in the process of overhauling their campus. They have 500 acres up in Redmond, and they are planning to redesign everything and get this new campus by 2022, is what this says. And so they hired a design firm, and the design firm, in conjunction with Microsoft, decided, you know what? So that we can get people to understand what we're doing here, instead of doing CAD drawings like most people do, most architects will do, we're going to build this campus in Minecraft. And people can walk around and see all the cool stuff we're going to do. So we're just going to build what we want to do in Minecraft and let people walk around and explore. This will be your office, and this is where Major Nelson's going to be. And do you want to walk to Phil's house or Phil's office? It's over there. And this is super cool. Like, I love this idea. And they're saying that they might, because of how intricate they kind of want this to be, they might be introducing some new assets to at least get this done, and whether or not that trickles over to stuff that we can do, just increasing the building block tools that would be available. I don't know if it'll ever get that far, but I thought this was super clever. It's Blockworks is who's building it, and the architecture partner is Gensler. But yeah, so you can, as you've seen CAD drawings before, it's just they're just images, still images, typically exteriors, but this is going to be a total virtual campus that the employees can walk around in and explore and maybe make comments. I don't know. Could you imagine just how close are we to this being like Ready Player One, where they just plug in and they work in the Minecraft world, and they just put their chat headsets on at home and they walk into their cube and like, hey Donna, how you doing over there? What do you? Oh, don't break your desk with that pickaxe. I don't know.
That's
what do
cool.
You guys think?
That's cool. I mean, it's a fun, clever little way to, work with what you have. Microsoft has Minecraft. It's a fun, creative tool, and they have this big endeavor that's coming up. It's cute. It's really fun, and it's a sort of thing that, like, as a employee of Microsoft, you'd love to see. Like, this is fun.
Yeah. Do you think so two things. One, when this project is completed, do you think that they will let people go and virtual tour the facility in Minecraft? They'll open the doors to have other people go in. I bet they do.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, I thought the article
possible
that you were referencing, I believe it says that all Microsoft employees and any customers who own the educational version of Minecraft can check it out.
Oh,
yeah,
is that
so
what it is?
I would assume that they're just going to let anyone go in there and sort of check it out.
I didn't see that part. Where the hell is that? Look at that. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Read the article, Fream, especially the one you posted.
The other thing is, do you think, so they say, like, you can make these individual buildings in, like, 10 minutes. Like, and is that just because, in creative mode and these dudes are just super fast at building stuff? Or, like, do they have, like are there, like, computer programs that can just make this quickly? Like, you can draw CAD and then it will just create it in Minecraft world for you?
I would definitely say that there's got to be something that would do that. I mean, if CAD has, basically, plots in space, points in space, there could very easily be some sort of thing that takes that and kind of dumbs it down for Minecraft and just builds like basic structures. I could totally see a plugin doing that, or some tool that would take a CAD drawing and convert it into a simple Minecraft. No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Because my son, he used to buy all the books, and in there they'd be like, hey, here's some of the coolest Minecraft creations that you'll see. And, like, just looking at some of the things that people have created, it's just amazing. And it's like, how the hell do you, because I know I'm almost entirely sure that these people built them painstakingly block by block, and that they didn't use, computer-aided building tools. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if that stuff exists. I'm not entirely plugged into the Minecraft community. I don't know how deep that goes and how significant that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, I would think it's a different type of person who's doing it. So if it's Microsoft, taking a CAD drawing, making their building, that's one kind of person. But then if you have a hobbyist who's going and making like the Trojan horse or something like that, and trying to make it realistic, I think that's a different type of person, and that is the type of person that's going to want to go and do it block by block and not have something generated for them. Not having played Minecraft for more than an hour, I don't know if there are tool sets out there that allow you to generate stuff and then import that into the world. I sort of don't think that it does, but possible. It's possible. I'm sure there's some talented people out there that have done that, but yeah.
I am terrible at Minecraft. I am real bad. The only Prue, do you have anything you want to add? You still play Minecraft at all?
He's gonna get the Switch one.
I mean,
did you finish them all yet?
I haven't finished them all yet. Did I tell the story about my nephew last week?
Yeah. Well, was it last week when he accidentally got you a bunch of achievements?
Oh no, God, that was
the story I remember.
Yeah, that was when he visited. So okay, it would have been for a holiday, so probably last winter. So he came down and they were traveling through and he came over and we played Minecraft together and it's like, oh man, I'm telling him you should get Xbox Live and we'll definitely play games together, right? Well, he got an Xbox and got Xbox Live. And he's very overzealous. He's excited. He wants to play, so he sends me invitations to play Minecraft.
Oh dear,
all the time now. And it's well, sometimes I just have my Xbox on, and I'm not available, or I'm playing something else. And but yes, we have been playing Minecraft quite a bit together lately, and I've actually been playing it legit. Most of the time, I'm playing Minecraft. I'm doing achievement world and stuff like that, but no, with him, we're actually just going through it and playing it, and it's a lot of fun. I really do like Minecraft, but
Are you playing it on survival? I'm sorry, did you say you're playing it creative or survival?
No, I don't play creative. I'm not a noob.
Okay, just checking.
No, come on now. No, it's always survival. It might be easy, but it's always survival. Yeah, but it's fun. I love Minecraft. It's such a great game, and it's really amazing that you can play it on any platform. I have not touched the Switch version yet. I want to finish a couple other versions up first, but I will be doing it very soon, I think.
Awesome. The last thing, I guess, I think that's going to be it for the show, guys. We got our last show coming up next week. And we will, of course, wrap everything up. And I think we'll have some things to talk about with XO18, which is happening tomorrow as of recording. So this will have happened in the past when you get this released to you. But you'll have our reactions likely next week of some of the announcements, the things that they've talked about. Seems like a fitting place to end the show with a Microsoft event that we likely will have to talk about, because we can talk about the future of Xbox and how excited we are about moving on with our lives. I want to thank everybody who has been on this journey with us for the 149 episodes. We hope you stick around for 150. And do you guys have anything you want to add? Koosh, Proulx, got anything you want to?
Yeah, well, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to have some sort of part in the community and jumping on the show. I discovered achievement hunting through, I think, this podcast. I think I discovered TA possibly through this podcast, certainly at the same time, roughly the same time. So my achievement journey basically started at episode 1 for the most part. So I've kind of been with you guys on the sidelines for a long time. I'm very happy to have been able to be part of the community and definitely later on part of the show and just kind of develop relationships with you guys. I'm so thankful for what you guys did, and I really I think this was special, and I appreciate it so much.
Thanks. How the hell did that work? How did you not be an achievement hunter before us? How did you even hear about us?
For me, I was, just playing games, and of course, my friends in college, we were all kind of at the same level of, involvement in video games versus schoolwork and getting jobs and things like that. Afterwards, I for whatever reason, I guess I wasn't in relationships, so I kind of stayed playing video games a little bit longer than they did. And it's
Sure.
just, for me, this is my hobby. They have other hobbies, but this was really the hobby that just stuck with me. So I was kind of out there by myself, really liking gaming, but not really finding, something that would kind of give me something to shoot for. So it was basically just get this game, get this game, get this game. And so now it's really just changed the way that I play games and the way I value games. Now it's not just oh, I want to play this and I want to play all the brand new stuff. Well, I don't need to play the brand new stuff because, I get this enjoyment out of discovering games that I would have skipped, and that are now cheap, and that I can actually just squeeze those games, get enjoyment out of them, and get the achievements. So none of my friends were into achievements, and it just sort of happened as I was looking around for these types of games, found your contests, and I was like, oh, that's pretty fun. I'll check that out, and that made me start to build up my library some more. So you are to blame for my bank account. for
Yeah, when you said you like to buy games cheap, I thought you're the person who buys all the the brand new stuff.
I changed that. I bought some brand new things. I think I have stopped buying the $60 games brand new, with the exception of Red Dead, for the most part. But sure. Yeah, so I owe a lot to this podcast and to you guys for putting it together, and I just very thankful for you draining my bank account.
Hey, you bet.
Yeah, thanks.
You bet. That's awesome. Proulx, you got anything you want to say before we sign off today?
No, other
Nothing
than just gratitude for the sentiment that Koosh just put forward. That was very kind, and it was really nice to hear. So, it is. We're getting there, and we'll talk a lot about this next week. But it's been a fantastic journey and a lot of fun. Yeah, I guess we'll close it out next week. Other than that,
yes, we will. I got some Star Wars to play.
Yeah,
got a lot of Star Wars ahead of me. I'm gonna go force choke a bunch of dudes. My kids, when I was playing, so I started up and I was home today with them, and they were goofing around in the playroom, and so I fired this thing up, and the first level you play as Darth Vader on kayak. What's the Wookiee? Kashyyyk. Mm-hmm. Walking around on Kashyyyk. And my daughter is like, "Quit choking Chewbacca!" I'm like,
just so you know, okay, there's a lot.
First of all, yeah, that's not Chewbacca. It's just a Wookiee. But it looks like Chewbacca. It's not Chewbacca. It's just a Wookiee, and I'm killing them all.
There's actually
you need to kill 200 of them.
There's a lot of achievements you can get on that opening tutorial level because you start out as, Darth Vader. So you're ultra powerful. You have all those abilities, and you can just kill those cannon fodder over and over.
You'll be spending a couple hours on that bridge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not today though. I was gonna do the story first. I'll come back to it since I know how early in the game it is. But yeah, they definitely were sad that I was murdering all of the Chewbaccas. I was like, oh boy, I don't even know where to start with you kids. So with that, we're going to sign off. Thank you so much for taking some time and listening to this episode with us. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed all of our episodes. They're going to hang out there. You can go back and check them out. They're on z2z.com, and we'll still have our social medias open. Twitter at z2z, we've got our email, contact at z2z.com. We are absolutely still running contests. At least the Gamertag Challenge and the random to-do list will be going. I did not post a community challenge, a monthly community challenge, because I want the Gamertag thing to keep going. And now that we don't have Patreon anymore, I'm going to try and stretch out our bank accounts as best we can. So I want to keep being able to provide that contest because I love that one so much, as well as the random to-do list. And so with that, we're going to sign off. So on behalf of Proulx and Koosh, I've been Brandon, and to all of you achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies out there, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you for our final episode. See ya!
See you next week.